Lisa Knoefel was a loving mother, a dedicated social worker, and a woman whose life was tragically cut short in a case filled with manipulation, betrayal, and cold-blooded planning. This is a shocking story of how a trusted member of her own family turned against her, leading to one of the most disturbing cases of domestic crime in recent history. Lisa Knoefel was a 41-year-old social worker living in Willoughby Hills, Ohio, with her husband Kevin Knoefel and their children. By all appearances, the Knoefels were a happy family, actively involved in their community. Lisa was particularly devoted to her job, helping children in need find safe and loving homes. It was through this work that she met Sabrina Zunick, a troubled teenager in foster care who needed stability and guidance. Lisa, known for her kindness and generosity, welcomed Sabrina into her home in 2011. At just 16 years old, Sabrina finally had what seemed to be a loving family, with a mother figure who genuinely cared for her well-being. However, beneath the surface, something much darker was taking place. As Sabrina settled into the Knoefel household, she was introduced to a stable environment for the first time. Lisa provided structure, support, and discipline, helping Sabrina work through her emotional struggles. However, this stability was soon disrupted by the man who should have been protecting his family, Kevin Knoefel. Kevin, working as a truck driver, was often away from home, leaving Lisa to handle most of the household responsibilities. Despite this, Lisa never complained, determined to provide a secure and supportive home for her children and Sabrina. But behind closed doors, Kevin was engaging in behavior that would ultimately destroy the very foundation of their family. Kevin Knoefel was not the devoted husband he appeared to be. He was a manipulator, preying on the vulnerabilities of a young girl who had already experienced instability and hardship. Shortly after Sabrina moved in, Kevin began grooming her. He showered her with attention, making her feel special, loved, and important. Given her past, this was something she had longed for, and Kevin knew exactly how to exploit that. What started as casual conversations soon escalated into something much more sinister. Kevin initiated an illegal and highly inappropriate relationship with Sabrina, manipulating her into believing that their connection was genuine and that Lisa was the one standing in the way of their happiness. He slowly worked to turn her against Lisa, creating false narratives that Lisa wanted her gone, that she didn't truly love her, and that the only solution was for Lisa to disappear. Kevin's motives were not just about lust or control. He had a financial interest as well. Lisa had a life insurance policy worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If she were gone, not only would he be free to pursue his twisted relationship with Sabrina, but he would also be financially set. The stage was set for an unthinkable crime. Kevin spent months manipulating Sabrina, reinforcing the idea that Lisa was a problem that needed to be removed. He alternated between affection and pressure, convincing her that this was an act of love and that their future depended on Lisa's death. He even coached her on how to carry out the murder, advising her on the best way to attack Lisa in her sleep. By this point, Sabrina was fully under Kevin's control. She was young, impressionable, and deeply conditioned to believe that Kevin was the only person who truly cared for her. Her desperate need for love and belonging made her susceptible to his coercion, and she genuinely believed that killing Lisa was the only way to secure her future with him. Kevin's manipulation went beyond just words. He made sure Sabrina felt completely isolated, cutting off her ability to seek help or question his authority. He reinforced his control through calculated emotional tactics, ensuring that when the time came, she would follow through with the plan. On November 16, 2012, Sabrina carried out the horrific act that Kevin had orchestrated. Lisa Knoefel was asleep in her bed when Sabrina, just 17 years old at the time, entered her room armed with a knife. What happened next was a scene of unimaginable horror. Lisa fought desperately for her life, but she was caught off guard and outmatched. Sabrina, driven by months of manipulation and coercion, stabbed Lisa repeatedly. The sheer brutality of the attack left investigators shocked. Lisa had suffered more than 150 stab wounds. What made this crime even more disturbing was that Lisa's two youngest daughters were in the house at the time. Though they were not direct witnesses to the killing, they heard parts of the attack and saw the aftermath. The trauma they endured that night would stay with them forever. After the attack, Sabrina attempted to stage the scene as if she had acted alone, but her lack of planning quickly became evident. Law enforcement officers arrived to find a chaotic and gruesome scene, immediately taking Sabrina into custody. She appeared strangely detached, her demeanor revealing the depth of psychological control Kevin had exercised over her. Once police began investigating, the truth unraveled quickly. While Sabrina initially insisted she had acted alone, detectives uncovered a disturbing web of lies, manipulation, and deceit. Authorities discovered thousands of text messages and phone calls between Sabrina and Kevin. These communications painted a chilling picture. Kevin had spent months orchestrating the murder, coaching Sabrina, and ensuring she followed through with their deadly plan. The evidence against him was overwhelming. Sabrina was charged with aggravated murder. Given the undeniable proof of Kevin's involvement, prosecutors soon turned their attention to him. Despite his attempts to distance himself from the crime, forensic evidence, digital records, and witness testimonies left no doubt about his role in planning Lisa's murder. In 2014, Kevin Knoefel was convicted of conspiracy to commit aggravated murder, sexual battery, and additional charges. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 30 years. As for Sabrina, her case was more complex. While she had physically carried out the crime, she had also been a victim of Kevin's grooming and psychological manipulation. The court acknowledged these factors, but still held her accountable. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. During her sentencing, Sabrina expressed remorse, acknowledging how Kevin had controlled and influenced her. Her case remains a tragic example of how vulnerable individuals can be manipulated into committing horrific acts. The murder of Lisa Knoefel is a chilling case of manipulation, abuse, and betrayal. It highlights the devastating consequences of power imbalances and coercion, particularly when a vulnerable person is targeted by a skilled manipulator. Lisa's death left an irreplaceable void in the lives of her children and loved ones. Her daughters, forever scarred by that horrific night, must now navigate life without the mother who had dedicated herself to giving them a bright future. The community, too, was shaken by the brutality of the crime and the shocking revelations that followed. Lisa Knoefel's story serves as a heartbreaking reminder of the dangers of predatory manipulation and the importance of recognizing warning signs in abusive relationships. Though justice was served, no punishment can bring Lisa back or undo the trauma inflicted upon those left behind. May she rest in peace. If you found this deep dive into the Lisa Knoefel case compelling, consider subscribing to Deep Dive Truth for more in-depth explorations of true crime cases. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and remember to stay aware, stay safe, and always question the narratives around you.